Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're doing well out there. It's Thursday, getting close to the weekend for most of you folks. Whatever that means, getting out with the family, getting out with friends, watching some football, getting outside and playing, whatever. It's almost here. Anyhow, kind of a little bit busy today. Had to run around a little bit this morning. Had my tripod broke on me last night. Had to go get a new tripod before I was even able to do this video. So wanted to do a video before I got involved in any other stuff for the day. Want to talk about some raw vegan tips for beginners today. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Was real happy that people were kind of interested in the Costa Rica thing yesterday. I should probably mention so I can kind of keep it organized. I haven't gone back and answered comments on that video yet, but if you are interested, get in touch with me. Send me an email so I can kind of keep you updated and let you know if it's going to happen. You know, just kind of keep you in the loop. You can always write me at rawtropicalliving@gmail.com. Anyhow, just wanted to throw a few raw vegan tips out there today. This could be, it says for beginners, but this could really be for anybody. You know, everybody struggles from time to time on this lifestyle, and sometimes you just have to take a step back, analyze things, and proceed like you are a beginner. You know, we can all be a little bit more humble sometimes when we don't let the ego get in the way. We can have better results. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest things, biggest tips when you're a beginner on this lifestyle is don't try to be perfect. Don't fret about being perfect on this lifestyle from the beginning. You've got a lot to take in. You've got a lot to learn. This is probably very different than you've eaten at any time in your life. If you're on YouTube, if you're on social media, you're going to hear a lot of conflicting opinions. You're going to have people telling you you absolutely must do this, and you're going to have other people telling you you absolutely must not do that very same thing. So you're going to have to learn early on kind of how to sift through all the information and figure it out. But the number one thing is just have a little patience. You know, you're getting into a totally different way of eating, a totally different way of life. And it's going to take you a little bit of time to figure out exactly how to do it. It's going to take a little bit of time for your body to adapt to it, to throw off some of the things that your body craves that it, that doesn't serve it necessarily, the addictions. Just a lot of the food that is ingrained in us that we may have been eating since we've been children. And some of it we eat for physical reason, the actual taste. It has a certain thing for us to taste, and other reasons are for emotional reasons, sentimental reasons, whatever. But anyhow, don't focus on being perfect. I see so many people doing that, and that's where their failure lies, is because they set themselves up. They want to be perfect from the beginning, and they almost set themselves up for failure. And when they're not perfect, it kind of throws them for a loop and throws them out of their game. And because they can't be perfect, then they tend to tip way over the other way. So don't worry about being perfect. Just kind of try to move forward every day. Try to learn a little bit more every day, and try to be a better, basically, I hope this doesn't sound cheesy, just try to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than you were today, and so forth and so on. Another really simple tip is just to simply crowd out bad food with good healthy nutrition. And I'm just talking basic stuff, whole plant-based foods, fruits and vegetables. People ask me a lot, well, how do I do this through the day? How do I do that? I'm like, eat a damn banana. Just eat a banana. It is not complicated. I think sometime I'm going to probably have a breakdown trying to explain this stuff. You're never going to get me to drop into some sort of detailed, like very serious, combobulated way of doing things. I had a smoothie a little while ago. It was about probably about eight or nine bananas, had a ton of spirulina in there. I mean, a ton of spirulina, not a ton of spirulina, a ton of spinach in there. And I had my, hemp seeds and chia seeds. This was a good, hearty, that's a lot of calories right there for one meal. when you do things like that, your stomach is not going to have a lot of room for anything else, and then your brain's not going to be sitting around bugging you all morning. I know that's what most people do when you come to this lifestyle, but you're not going to get by eating a banana, 2 bananas. That's not going to last you for 3-4 hours, up through the times when you get busy. Eating, I just see sometimes, especially when people are new to this lifestyle, or I notice that with the people that struggle a lot, they're just like, they're talking about what they're eating, and I'm like, wow, I'm just basically, my saliva just gets going after, I'm just starting to get warmed up with the amount that you're eating. So, if you just simply feed yourself good stuff, just bombard your body with good stuff, it's got less time to want and to think about any of the bad stuff in your body. As I've mentioned many, many, many times, and I will stand behind this every day, I don't get cravings when I'm full. Now, there's always that exception out there. There's always that person that wants to be different, and they'll tell me, oh yeah, I get cravings when I'm full. Well, then you're an exception. I don't know very many people. If you're full, if you're satisfied, if you're satiated, the body just doesn't go there. It's when we start letting ourselves get a little bit too hungry that the mind starts wandering, and it's like it goes off the path, and it wants all those old things that used to please us back in the day. So, if you'll just simply start your day. It's almost like you could you could bum rush your way through the day being raw vegan by just getting up in the morning and eating. Start early. And, let's leave out the argument about all the people that like to intermittent fast and they only eat 1 time a day and this and that. If you want to do that later on, fine. In the beginning, until you stop having the cravings, or until you stop being tempted by food that doesn't serve you, that's not really food, you need to eat. You need to eat, you need to keep yourself full, and you need to keep yourself satiated. Because I'm just saying, okay, you do something like what I did this morning. Let's say whether you have a huge smoothie or you have a big bowl of ice cream or whatever, or the equivalent. All right, that's going to take you. I mean, even if I get busy, I'm good on that. I could easily go another 3 hours or so. Now, I probably won't. Excuse me. So you start with that. And, when you start feeling, even before, in the beginning, some people, some people will disagree with this because they're like, no, you need to get used to listening to your hunger. So don't eat until you're hungry again. But once again, in the beginning, you're trying to learn this stuff, and you want to kind of cheat a little bit, so to speak, and do some little tricks to keep yourself from doing things that you don't want to do. So, I would say in the beginning, eat before you really start getting hungry. Just let's try to keep that hunger at bay as much as possible. So you have that first big smoothie or the big ice cream or first big meal, 2 or 3 hours later, do it again. And then you're full. And before you know it, when you do this, like with me, sometimes I'm like thinking, well, I would have liked to have gotten another smoothie in. The day goes by faster than you think. And most of the time, I'm not even thinking about it. It's dinner time, and, I've been full and I've been satiated all day. So I really believe on this lifestyle, if you just put a little thought into it and you're smart with it, that you could almost go raw till dinner like that. It's just about keeping yourself full and satiated throughout the day. So just without trying to worry about all these elaborate tricks and systems and whatever, just crowd the bad stuff out with the good. And the last one I'll talk about is kind of also being ahead of things, thinking ahead, anticipating potential problems, is pay attention to those trouble times of the day. Now, to me, I always think in generalities. There's some general times of the day. I think a lot of people have troubles, but this is individual. This is for you. So you need to think of if you have some special times or special situations too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a particular time of every day. There can also be certain social situations, work situations that tend to cause you to do and eat things that you don't necessarily want to. So think about those ahead of time, anticipate them a little bit. Like people, I always hear people that work in offices, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, that's when they start getting that temptation to go down the hall to the vending machines. or that's when they have that temptation to take that morning break from the office and go out and get some gooey treat or eat the donuts that are brought in. So be aware of that. Like if you always have that mid-morning kind of, oh, I'm starting to get hungry. Now I'm thinking about going and getting something bad. Anticipate that. Bring yourself a snack for that afternoon. If you have to have something, if like come around a couple of hours after lunch, you start getting a little bit hungry, have yourself a snack ready. Have something around the house that's ready wherever you are, but take care of that. If there's certain situations, like let's say once a week you go with this group of people for lunch, or if you have lunch at work with this group of people and they don't necessarily eat like you, plan ahead, but pay attention to troubled times of the day. Pay attention to troubling situations in your life. And like I say, if you can kind of anticipate the theme of this about crowding things out, it's about getting out ahead of situations. A lot of things in life you will benefit if you will get out ahead of the situation, if you will anticipate potential problems that can come up, instead of like a lot of times it's easier to keep a fire from starting, prevention, than it is to put one out. So the more you can prevent things, the less you have to come in and remedy them or put out fires or whatever. So anyhow, these are just some little simple tricks. This is what I do. I don't like to get into the complicated. I think most of this whole raw vegan thing is a psychology thing. It's mostly in the head. It is not physical as much as people tend to think it is. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one and maybe got something useful out of it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with some of your beginner friends, and I will see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.